I used to live in a small house on the outskirts of Richmond, Virginia. Every word had to be measured before leaving my mouth, especially if my older sister was around. I already knew the exact sound my father made when he wanted to show disapproval without saying anything, that deep sigh. My mother, on the other hand, preferred to smile and change the subject. My sister Claire, though I call her she now, just to keep some distance, was the star of the house. Everything she did was treated as greatness. She was 23 and still lived with us, even though she'd been working for 2 years at a digital marketing company downtown. I had just finished high school and was waiting for my 18th birthday as the first symbol of independence. That week, the air inside the house felt heavier than usual. My birthday was on Saturday, and my parents had insisted on organizing the celebration. They'd rented the community hall, ordered the cake, made a guest list. I hadn't asked for any of it, but I admit I liked the idea. It sounded like a delayed acknowledgement, a chance to truly exist in that house. Except something felt wrong since Wednesday. Claire had been locking herself in her room all day, followed by muffled crying. I heard my father knocking more than once and walking away with a tense expression. I found out she'd missed her trip to New York because a storm had shut down the airport. A plan with her friends, hotel booked, tickets bought, new clothes stacked on the bed. I heard her crying and wanted to feel empathy. But the truth is, I felt an ugly, selfish relief. She would be gone, and I'd have a night that was finally mine. On Friday during dinner, my mother asked trivial questions, whether I'd picked my dress, the cake flavor, but she didn't look at me. Claire didn't come down, and my father ate quickly, as if wanting the theater to end soon. When I said I was excited for Saturday, he just replied, "We'll see." 2 words, spoken in a neutral tone, but they sparked a bad feeling. After dinner, I went to my room and looked out the window. I thought about texting my friends to confirm the schedule, but something held me back. It felt like the air was too charged to talk about a party. Still, I prepared everything. Hung the dress on the closet door, lined up the shoes, set out the makeup. I set the alarm for 9 a.m. That night, before falling asleep, I heard my parents talking softly in the kitchen. Their voices were tense, muffled. I could only make out fragments. "She won't understand. It's just for a while, until she calms down." I knew she meant Claire, and I also knew, though I didn't want to admit it, that won't understand meant me. I closed my eyes and tried to ignore everything I'd heard. I thought if I fell asleep fast enough, Saturday would come quickly, and with it, proof that none of this mattered. Saturday started with the kind of morning that seemed to promise normality. I looked at the clock, 9:40. I didn't yet know it would be the strangest day of my life. I grabbed my phone. My friends had texted, "Want to go together at 7? Did the cake arrive? Can I bring Ethan?" I replied with heart emojis, trying to contain my excitement. The cake was from a bakery in Mechanicsville. Chocolate with raspberry filling, my favorite. The playlist was ready, a mix of upbeat songs from the last 2 summers. Everything finally seemed in order. I went downstairs to the kitchen still in my pajamas, humming softly. My mother stood at the sink, stirring a cup of coffee. Her eyes looked distant. "Morning, Mom." It took her a few seconds to react. "Good morning, sweetheart. Sleep well?" "Yeah. Everything's set for the hall, right?" She nodded quickly with a forced smile but kept stirring the spoon. My father appeared in the living room, wearing the same gray t-shirt as always, and said, "We need to talk later." I didn't ask anything, pretended I hadn't heard. As I went back upstairs, I noticed Claire's door was half open. She sat on her bed, phone in hand, eyes red. A pile of travel clothes still covered half the room. The TV played the news about flight cancellations from the storm. "It'll be fine," I said without thinking. She looked up slowly and replied, "Sure, for you, it always is." I didn't answer. I closed my door. I felt guilty for a moment, but couldn't tell exactly why. At 1 o'clock, I was ready to start getting dressed, but no one had moved. No boxes in the car, no trip to the hall, nothing. When I went downstairs, my parents were on the porch exchanging short phrases. The air felt heavy. "Did the cake arrive?" I asked. My mother replied without looking at me, "Sweetheart, we need to tell you something." My father cleared his throat and said, "The party's been canceled." I didn't get it at first. I laughed, thinking it was a joke. "What do you mean, canceled?" "Your mother messaged everyone. Your sister's not feeling well, and we thought it'd be best to postpone." The word postpone made me want to laugh and cry at once. Postpone what? My life? My birthday? You're kidding, right? "It's not the right time," my mother said. "She's upset." She. Always her. "You lied to me?" I asked. My father just looked away. My mother tried to grab my hand, but I pulled back. "What did you tell people?" "That you weren't feeling well," she answered. "We didn't want to expose you." I ran upstairs, body shaking, and locked the door. No one was coming. My phone started buzzing with notifications. Messages from relatives and family friends. Heard you're not well. Get better soon. We were looking forward to seeing you today. Take care. Health comes first. I read each one, not sure whether to laugh or cry. The words were kind, but every one of them sounded like a reminder of the lie told in my name. I felt myself disappearing inside my own life, erased enough to not even exist in the celebration that was mine. At 7 o'clock, the time when everything should have started, the house was silent. My parents ate dinner as if it were just another day. That's when I heard Claire's slow footsteps in the hallway. She knocked and walked in without asking. I told them it would be cruel to throw a party today, she said, crossing her arms. But you never think about anyone but yourself. Get out of my room. You should be grateful. They spared you the embarrassment. She stepped back when she noticed my voice changing. Out! You're yelling, she said. Mom's going to hear. And I did yell. I yelled because it was all I had left. That's when the doorbell rang, but no one answered. She stepped back when she saw me shaking. It wasn't anger yet, just disbelief. I left the room, went downstairs, straight to the living room. The old messages with balloon and heart emojis felt like they belonged to another world. I took a deep breath and texted one of my closest friends. Was the party canceled? She replied, Your mom said you were sick and we shouldn't message you. Are you okay? The "are you okay" was the final blow. I walked into the kitchen. My parents were quietly having dinner. You lied to everyone. Neither of them responded. I want to know why. My mother said, Sweetheart, your sister's very shaken. We have to think about what's best for the family. Family? I repeated. You think lying is best for the family? My father wiped his mouth with a napkin and said, It was the only sensible solution. Sensible? I shouted. You canceled my 18th birthday to please someone who cried over a missed trip. My mother raised her tone, trying to control the chaos. Stop dramatizing. Dramatizing. I'm here, with no friends, no party, no explanation. You erased me. My father stood up, his face shifting from calm to angry. Lower your voice. Why? I yelled. You'll wake your favorite daughter? My mother moved closer, trying to touch my arm. I pulled away. You need to understand what she's going through, she said. What about what I'm going through? You've spent my whole life teaching me to wait, to give in, to understand. And now, you take even my birthday away. I spoke without caring how loud I was. Claire came down the stairs, arms crossed, watching like it was a reality show. See? She said, almost smiling. She always does this. Everything has to revolve around her. The look I gave her must have been enough to make her step back. You! I started, but my mother shouted, Enough, please! That word, enough, was the breaking point. I was tired of obeying enoughs that never applied to her. The anger finally found a place to live inside me. You're cowards, I said. You canceled everything just to avoid upsetting her, and you lied to everyone. My father tried to reply, but the doorbell rang again. A long, insistent sound. No one moved. Claire looked at them, annoyed. Must be the delivery guy, she said. But my father went to the door. Then I heard a deep voice I hadn't heard in months. Someone here going to explain what's going on? My father came back into the living room with someone I hadn't seen in months. My grandfather. He walked in without waiting for an invitation, eyes fixed on me first, then on each of them. What's happening here? He asked. My father tried to answer. Dad, it's nothing serious, just a disagreement. Doesn't sound like nothing, my grandfather interrupted. I was still trembling with anger. Claire, leaning on the stairs, pretended to cry again. I just can't stand her attitude anymore, she said, looking down. She turns everything into drama. My grandfather looked at her with an expression that shattered her act. Drama? He repeated. What exactly is the drama here? No one answered. I was the one who spoke first. They canceled my party, lied, told everyone I was sick, just because she missed a trip. My grandfather turned to my father. Is that true? He asked. My father stayed silent for a while. It was a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding, my grandfather said. Or cowardice. My mother tried to step in, saying it wasn't the time for this, but he cut her off. The time is now. You've built a home where one daughter can't celebrate a birthday without asking the other for permission, he said, looking at them both. That's not balance. That's abuse. Claire scoffed. You don't understand. She always plays the victim. Always wants to be the center. The center? He turned to me. The center is always the one who gets the attention, not the one begging for it. My father murmured his name, but was ignored. Update 1. It was my mother who finally spoke up. It was a mistake, Dad. We just wanted to avoid conflict. My sister sighed loudly, and he turned his gaze to her. You asked them to cancel the party, didn't you? I was sad, that's all. I didn't think it would be that serious. Then he turned to me. How long has this been happening? It took me a second to understand the question. What? This kind of thing. Being left out, silenced. All I could do was give a small nod, enough for him to understand this wasn't the first time. So that's what you call parenting? He said, looking at my parents. I've been helping you for years, thinking the money kept a decent home. My father tried to defend himself. We did what we could. She's always been more sensitive. My mother started crying. That's when he looked at me again. You deserve more than this. Grandpa, I don't want to stay here anymore, I said without planning to. Then pack your things. Claire's eyes widened. What? She leaves and I end up the villain? No, Grandpa said. You'll just face, for the first time, the consequences of what you do. My father stood up. That's not necessary. It is, Grandpa replied. It's the only way you'll understand what you've lost. My mother tried to appeal. She's our daughter. And you just remembered that now? I stood up, not knowing what to take. He placed his hand on my shoulder. Only the essentials. We'll handle the rest. In the car, he broke the silence. I should have done this earlier. Done what? I asked. Taken you out of there. He told me the rest while driving. He spoke slowly, without looking at me. Said my parents never wanted a second child, that their marriage was already falling apart when my mother got pregnant, that they'd thought about giving me up for adoption, and only gave up the idea because he and Grandma opposed it. I was speechless. They really said that? I asked. Yes, he answered flatly. And ever since, they've carried that regret as an excuse to treat you like a reminder of a mistake. Then why didn't you ever tell me? Because I thought I could still fix them. He paused. Now I see the only thing I can do is protect you. I didn't cry. Couldn't. It was a strange mix of shock and relief. When we arrived at his house, he handed me a towel and said, We'll talk about the rest tomorrow. Tonight, just rest. My grandfather's house was in an old neighborhood in Richmond. Everything there seemed overly organized. He showed me the guest room. You can stay as long as you need, he said, leaving the suitcase by the door. Here, no one's going to tell you to shut up. When he turned off the light, I grabbed my phone. There were 7 messages from my mother and 3 from my father. You can't just leave like that. Please think it through, sweetheart. Your grandfather is overreacting. Come back home tomorrow and we'll talk. All in the same tone. Excuses disguised as affection. Scrolling down, I saw the last message. Claire's not well. You should see how she's crying. If you care about this family, come talk to us. My chest tightened, but anger was stronger. I typed a single reply. I'll come back if she leaves. It took me a few minutes to hit send. It was my first rule, my first move outside the script they'd always written for me. The phone buzzed soon after. This is ridiculous. She's your sister. I replied without thinking. Then stay with her. I'll stay with peace. In the days that followed, Grandpa built a routine for me. Breakfast at 7, lunch on time, and an afternoon walk. My phone kept buzzing with messages from my parents, shifting between guilt and desperation. One said, Your grandfather will get tired. He's old. Think about that. I deleted it before finishing reading. I had already decided I wasn't going back. That week passed slowly. I went back to school just to finish the last diploma formalities. My classmates whispered. They knew something had happened, but no one asked directly. On Friday, I left later, carrying a stack of documents in a blue folder. At the gate, I ran into Luke, a classmate, one of the quiet ones. He offered me a ride to the bus stop, and I accepted. You look tired, he said. It's just a lot of noise in my head, I replied. That's when I saw her. Claire, standing across the street, leaning against her car, arms crossed, eyes locked on me. Who's that? Luke asked. My sister. Pretend you didn't see her. But she wasn't there to pretend anything. She crossed the street. So that's it? She said. You run away and make everyone the villain? Luke stepped aside, uncomfortable. I didn't run. I left. There's a difference. Oh sure, the martyr of Richmond. Now you're a saint. You embarrassed Mom and Dad, she said. Grandpa's always had this thing about treating you like the poor little victim. Embarrassed? I repeated. Embarrassment is what you all did to me. She laughed, provoking me. You never could stand losing, could you? Always wanted to be the sweet, misunderstood one. Luke tried to step in. Hey, maybe this isn't the place for this. Stay out of it, she snapped, not even looking at him. Claire, I said quietly, I'm not going back. That's not your decision. It is, and it's the last time I'm saying it. She took a step forward but stopped when she saw Luke move slightly in front of me. "You don't have to get involved," she told him. "Just making sure no one loses their temper," he replied firmly. Her eyes hardened, and for a moment I thought she might push me. "You two deserve each other," she said, turning away and getting into her car. Luke took a deep breath. "Want me to drive you somewhere?" "No, I need to walk a bit." We stayed silent until the bus stop. When he left, I felt that for the first time, I'd truly set a boundary, and that it wasn't an ending, but the beginning of a new, still awkward life. When I got back to Grandpa's house, he only asked, "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said. "Now it is." Update 2. I was on the porch having coffee when my phone buzzed. The screen showed my father's name. For some reason, I answered. "Your mother wants to talk to you," he said. No greeting. Then talk. "We're trying to work things out, but you need to understand your sister's in crisis. She tried to hurt herself last night. And what exactly do you want from me? For you to come back, to show support. She needs it. She says she won't get better while you're away, that she feels she lost the family because of you." "She didn't lose the family, Mom," I said. "You just chose which daughter to keep." Silence. "If you don't come back," my father said, "we'll have to move on." "Then move on." The word came out cold. I hung up before they could say anything else. My hand trembled. I knew that call was a test. One last attempt to break me. A few hours later, a message came that ended everything. "We've decided it's best if you stay with your grandfather. Claire needs stability, and we can't divide our attention. No, we love you. No, we'll fix this." Just that. Grandpa found me on the porch, sat beside me, and stayed quiet for a while. "It hurts now," he said. "But one day you'll see they stepped away to make room for your life to start." I picked up my phone and typed my final reply. "Don't worry, I'm not coming back. Take care of her." Then I blocked both numbers. That week, fate did the rest. One of my aunts, the family gossip, stopped by Grandpa's house to drop off some medicine for him. When she saw me, her eyes widened. "What are you doing here, girl?" Grandpa didn't hide it. He told her everything, straight. Said my parents had canceled my birthday and lied that I was sick just to avoid making my sister sad. Told her I'd decided to stay because there was no room for me at home anymore. My aunt listened, indignant, left promising not to get involved. But by that same evening, the story had spread. Within 24 hours, the whole family knew. Cousins, uncles, aunts. Messages started coming in. "Is it true what Aunt said? Can't believe they did that to you. I was so excited for your party. Don't worry, we're on your side." And then came the irony. My sister decided to throw a party for her birthday, as if nothing had happened. Sent invitations in the family group, posted photos of the cake, the venue, the balloons, but no one showed up. Not a cousin, not an aunt, not a single family member. The rented hall stayed empty, just the cake, my parents, and a few of her friends. When I heard, I didn't feel satisfaction, just a calm feeling, like the universe had balanced the scales. On my next birthday, things were different. Grandpa invited me to go out for lunch, and when I walked into the living room, the lights turned on. The whole family was there. Cousins, uncles, aunts, even some I hadn't seen in years. A simple cake, awkward laughter, an off-key happy birthday. It was small, improvised, but real. Grandpa raised his glass of juice and said, "Now this is a birthday." It was the first time I felt like part of a real family. Not the one you're born into, but the one that chooses you when everyone else turns their back. After my gossiping aunt posted pictures of my surprise party, my mother freaked out. She sent long messages to everyone, criticizing the relatives' behavior. "You're all cruel," she wrote. "My daughter's devastated, and you turned against her over gossip." She said they were feeding ingratitude and destroying family harmony, but no one replied. Grandpa read everything silently. Then he looked up and said firmly, "They still haven't learned anything." The next day, he made a short call to the bank. When he hung up, he told me plainly, "I've been helping your parents financially for years, paying part of the house, bills, insurance, but it's over. The money I sent to them, I'll send to you." "Grandpa, I don't want that," I tried to argue. "I do," he interrupted, "and you'll accept it. That money is going to have purpose now, for your education, your future, not to fund cowardice." I was speechless. They used my help to feed a lie. Now the truth will cost them. The following week, my mother sent one last message, full of anger and wounded pride. "Your grandfather turned his back on us. Hope you're happy." I deleted it without replying. A year passed. Today, I live in Charlottesville, sharing a small apartment. I got into college with the help of the money Grandpa insisted on giving me. He called it an investment in freedom. I called it a second chance. No one interrupts me. No one measures me. Sometimes cousins text asking how I'm doing. I always answer simply, good, studying, living. And it's true. My sister now lives alone in a small apartment in Richmond. I heard from an aunt that she's trying to reconnect with the family. I don't feel anger. My parents still haven't spoken to me since losing Grandpa's financial help and having to reorganize their lives. He doesn't brag about it, but sometimes says short phrases like, life gives back what you offer. Grandpa still lives in the same house, with the same routines. Deep down, he knows I'm still divided, that I still wonder if I did the right thing, if I should ever try talking again. But every time that doubt shows up, I remember the cake that was never cut, the she's sick that erased me completely, and then everything falls back into place.